Today, we are going to focus on, kind of similar to the way we did last week, we're going to take a before and after photo. But this week, we're going to focus on our calves and our ankles. So we're going to take a photo at the very start in our wall touch position on both sides of our feet. If you haven't done that with me before, don't worry, I'll explain everything. And then we're going to take a photo at the end in that same wall touch position and see if we can get some more movement in the ankles. All right, who thinks that calves and ankles and all that area would be quite good to get moving a bit better? Yeah, lots of reasons why. It's super important, our ankles, for being able to stay up on our toes, for preventing injury, for being able to get through our dances a bit better without that sort of pain coming into the calves, especially in light shoes. So, and especially after yesterday. So we'll definitely have a really, really good stretch. Okay, so first move we're going to do is where we're going to take our photo. So I'm going to show you first and explain it, and then we'll all do it at the same time. All right, and we'll do our photos. So what we're going to do is have our front toe touching the wall, and the back foot is just tucked in behind. The back foot's just there to give us a bit of support so we don't fall over. Now, to find our first position that we want to take the photo in, I'm going to keep the heel down, and I'm going to try to get my knee touching the wall. And now I'm really, really super tight, so my heel already wants to come off the floor a little bit. So what I want you to do is find how far away from the wall you can get that toe whilst touching with the knee and keeping this heel down on the floor. And what I want you to do is just keep having a play until you find the distance that you can be furthest away with heel down and knee touching, and take a photo there, and then do exactly the same with the other side. So seeing if you can get a little further away or less far, but we just need to make sure we keep that heel on the floor. All right, so have a little go. Once you've found your distance, grab your phone, take a photo. I'm going to put my phone down here against something and take a photo there. And let's see what difference we can make to that position. Okay, let's see then. Need to set a little timer. Let's see, where is it? 3 seconds. Oh, taking a photo the wrong way. Anyone else do that? Just me being silly. So mine's not too good. How are we all doing? Just going to do the other side. Okay, who's done? A little bit fiddly today. Done. How far away were you from the wall? Far, close. Let's see. Yeah, not bad, Scarlett. Arabella, Neve. Yeah, yours is tight like mine, isn't it? Similar on both sides. Let's see, Ash. Bring it a bit closer. Yeah, Cece, you need this little stretch. Let's see. Bring them a bit closer so I can see. Ellie, bring it closer. Let's see. It's hard with the light, isn't it? Oh, that's got better. Yeah, good. Let's see. Lucy, yeah. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see if we can make that difference. So it's going to be all focused on getting the calves moving and the ankles moving, okay? So pop those phones away. We'll need them at the end. So our first move is our normal sort of calf raise move. So you've got a couple of options here as well. I use my little weight like this, but you can also roll your mat up super tight. We've done this one before together. We need to be able to lift it up. You can use a book, you can use, what you don't want to use is something round so it rolls away. So you don't want to use a bottle or anything like that. You want something, yeah, that's perfect, Cece. That's good. You can roll the mat up if you don't have anything else. She knows exactly. Yeah, roll it up, right? It's really tight. Go as tight as you can. Shauna, what have you got? Yes, a weight. Perfect. Neve's got a weight. Good. Roche, yeah. Is that high enough, do you reckon? Is that high enough? Fold it in. You can always fold it in half as well if you want a better stretch. Maybe that's too much then. Good, let's see, are we all ready? Yes, we look it. Yeah, that looks good. Perfect. Okay. Right, so we're going to pop our foot onto it. Keep the leg nice and straight. We're going to step forwards with the other leg and lean our body forwards too. You're going to keep that heel down on the floor and keep a really nice straight leg, and you should be able to feel this stretch in your calf. The very top of your calf here should be feeling that stretch. If you need to get a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring that front leg forwards a little bit more. Make sure this is nice and straight. You can also lift, if you're on a mat or something like that, you can move it and make it a little bit bigger. All right, so the higher up the toe is, also the more stretch you're going to get. But if you can wiggle that leg a little bit further forwards and really lean into it, feel that stretch as much as possible. Good. You're going to bring the foot back. We're going to bend and sit down into it now. So all my weight's now through this front leg, this bottom leg that's on the way to a raised up, and I've got a little bend, and I should feel the stretch a little bit lower in the calf now. Just hold it there for a couple of seconds. Good. And again, I'm leaning my body. If you can see, I'm just leaning my body forwards a little bit as I sit down into that bent knee. Good. Straighten the leg up again. Step forwards. Lean that body. Can you push that foot a little bit further forwards this time? Nice and straight. Think about driving your heel into the floor. So I'm always thinking about pushing down into here. Push into the floor as much as possible. Good, and then bring it back and bend it down. Really bend into that, sit into that as much as you can. Good. And often when we're straight, we tend to be a lot tighter as dancers. The bottom part here doesn't tend to be that tight usually, but it does feel like a nice stretch still. Bring it up, last time, stepping forwards. So in this one, we're stretching our gastrocnemius, which is the big juicy part at the top. That's what we're stretching most. Lean forwards, and that's the bit that gets super tight for us lot. Good. Drive that heel into the floor. Really lean forwards over it. Bring that front foot a little bit further away if you can. And bring it back and bend it one more time. Good. And you're going to do 8 really big circles with your ankle now, as big as you can. We might get some clicks. Go big and slow. As big as you can, all the way around. And then change direction, go the other way. As big as you can still. Try and get that ankle doing the movement, not the leg. And then a really floppy shake. So try and make your foot really floppy. And a big shake. Good, we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Okay? Actually, before you do that, have a little move around. See, do your 2 ankles feel any different already? Give me a thumbs up if you can feel a difference already between the 2. Yeah, I can. You just feel a bit freer in the one we've stretched. Right, let's go. Opposite side, top. That top of the foot's nicely raised. Nice straight leg. We're going to step forwards now. Oh, much tighter on this side for me. So you might be tighter, you might be looser. See how it feels. You know how to make it harder. Move that front foot further forwards. Really think about driving that back heel down towards the floor. Really push it down and in. Good. Keep thinking about that the whole time. Heel right down. Push it into the floor. Good. Hold it nice and still. Remember, keep it as straight as possible. Nice. Couple more seconds here. Good. And then you're going to bring it back and bend into it. Sit into that. Press into the floor. Really, really press right down. Keeping your heel down, but trying to bend the knee as much as possible. Good. It's still important that we stretch this part, even if we can't feel too much, because they're connected. They join together. So if one's tight, the other one will begin to get tight. All right, so it's important to stretch both of these parts. Good, straighten it up. Round 2, lean it forwards. Does it feel a little better already? Mine definitely does. Hold it nice and still, nice and straight. Keep thinking about driving that heel into the floor. Really think about pushing the heel down towards the floor. Press into it as hard as you can. That's when you're going to get most out of this. Good. Really good. And then bring it back and bend it down. Nice. Really sit in. Bend as deep as you can. Perfect. Wicked. Last time. Step it forwards. Really leaning forwards as straight as you can have that leg. Ooh, feels good. Really drive that heel down into the floor. And bring it back and stretch it down. Good, and again we've got our nice 8 big circles, as big as we can. Up and down, as big as you can. Again, you might get some clicks. Couple more, and then change that direction. As big as you can get that circle. Good. Nice. Even bigger. Good. And then a really floppy shake. Flop, 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 flop. Good. Okay. Now, whatever you use, keep it handy because we will be using it again in a little while. All right, so keep that at the side, and then we're going to move down into our downward dog positions. We'll get a little bit of a stretch through the hamstrings at the same time here, and the back of the knees. So, just as when we stretch when we need to kick our legs higher, also, if our hamstrings are super tight, it can impact our calves too. So like I always say, everything is connected. So it's not one thing doing a job on its own, it's connected to lots of other areas. So we're going to stretch our calves in this position and our hamstrings are going to feel it too. So we're going to go onto hands and toes. You've done this one with me before. We've got a couple of different variations. So curl the toes underneath, push the bum in the air, drive the heels down, really push them down as far as you can. Push, 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 keep pushing those heels down. Think about driving them into the floor. And come down and relax. Good, we do 7 more, all right? Don't worry too much about sticking your head through at this point. We'll get to that in a moment, all right? So just up, come back, and really drive those heels down. Push those heels into the floor as much as possible. And bring it down. We've got 6 to do. Are we ready? Bum in the air. Push down, drive it in as much as possible. Push. Good. Really push those heels towards the floor. Nice. And relax. Good. Can we feel it? Yeah, it feels good. 5 more. Up in the air, push it down. Really drive them in now. You might be able to get them a little closer. Are they closer to the floor? Have a look. Good. Forwards and down. If you get to the point where you're touching the floor, move your hands away a tiny bit. If you're not, just keep working towards it. Don't let the feet move. The aim is to try and get there eventually. And that might not be today. That might be in a couple of weeks. All right? But keep driving the heels down. Here we go. 4. Press it down as much as you can. Trying to think about them getting closer to that floor. Good, forwards and down. 4 to do. Up we go. Push it back and down. Down, down, down as much as you can. Push, keep those legs nice and straight. Good. 2 more. They feel good. 2. Drive it down. Push them into the floor. Really hard. Drive them in. Good. And the last one. Here we go. Up, push back. Drive it into the floor as much as possible. And forwards and down. Good. Give yourself a little second. Sit up nice and tall. Give the head a little rest. And those shoulders a little rest. It's hard work on those shoulders, isn't it? Right, we're going to do the next one where we lift up and go for a little walk with those heels. So each time we try to push one heel down, really pushing it into the floor, working each side individually. Are you ready? So exactly the same, hands are down, feet are curled under, lift the bum in the air, push back, really try and get the head under this time. So that head's right under and lift one heel. Good, think about pressing down as much as you can into that side. And then switch, 7, really drive it in, spend a couple of seconds on each side with me. Good, and switch, 6, hold it there, couple of seconds. Good, and switch, 5, push, push, push. Good, and change, 4, push it in. Nice, and 3. Good, drive it into the floor. 2 to do, 2, press it in as much as you can. And last one, push it in as far as you can. And relax it down. Good, another little rest. And then we've got one final version of that position. Can we feel those calves getting a nice stretch? Yes, they deserve it, don't they? They work so hard for us. We should be looking after them all the time. All right, last one then. We're going to curl the toes under. You're going to lift the bum in the air. And then this time, I'm just going to lift one leg and push it in the air. It doesn't have to be high. It doesn't have to be straight. I'm keeping it bent. Can you have a look at mine? Keep that back leg bent. That's it. And just think about the bottom one straight and driving the heel down. Couple of seconds in that position and switch sides. Exactly the same. Push the heel down to the floor as you try and kick the other one high. If you can kick it higher, you'll feel it more, but just a little bit feels enough sometimes. Good, we've got 2 more to do. Bottom leg goes down, kick that top leg up. 2, really push the heel down, try and push backwards onto that heel, all your weight into that leg. Really good, 1 more, here we go. Back it goes, push, and relax. Whew. Good, that's a good one, isn't it? Those shoulders are tired now. No more shoulders for now. Right, let's move on to the next little bit then. So another part of the body that's connected to our calves is our foot, of course. So if we have a think about it, we've got our big juicy part of the calf here, we've got the next bit underneath, and that connects underneath your foot, so round under your heel, all the way to connected underneath the bottom of your toe. Okay, so that big toe joint is linked with our calf flexibility. All right, so we're going to have a little stretch of that area. So some of you might be surprisingly tight in here. So what we're going to do is go onto our big toes like this. So we're on our shoulders, we're on our big toes, and I just want you to drop down. So you're in like a kneeling position. And to begin with, all you're going to do is sit back onto those toes and just hold it here for 10. Give me a thumbs up if you can feel the stretch. 9. Yes. 8. It's very tight, isn't it, in there? 7. Good. 6. Keep holding. 5. If you're leaning forward, try and lean back a little bit more. 3. 2. And 1. Lean forward, give them a little relax for a second. Oh, who's tighter in there than they thought they were going to be? Yeah, a couple of us. Okay. Now this time you're going to curl under and we're going to rock back and forwards on them like this a little. Okay? So nice and gentle. Toes are curled under. We're just going to do 10, nice and steady together. So push back 10 onto those toes and gently down. Good. 9 and gently down. Nice and gentle. 8 and down. 7, good, nice and gently, and down. Good. 6 to do. 6. And down. Be nice and careful with them. 5. And down. Good. 4. It should be getting a little bit more comfortable now. 3 more. 3. And down. Good. 2 to do. And down. The last one. And relax. Oh, good. Did that get easier as you went? A little bit? Yeah, cool. I'm going to do one more 10-second hold there. All right? So really, really good stretch to start the movement. The movement of that calf comes all the way from that toe. So if we're super tight in there, which we can get really easily, then it can impact our calves fully. So onto those toes, drop the knees down. We're going to do one more 10-second hold. Try and sit nice and tall again. 10, 9, 8. If you want to challenge, bring those arms above your head. 6. Woo! Feel the difference that makes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Good. Now another part of the ankle that gets super, super tight, and that is connected with the outside of our calf here in the front of the calf, is the front of our ankles here. And you've done this stretch before with me. It's super important that we are very gentle and careful here, because this can be tender. All right, so I want you to be very careful and listen carefully as well to the instructions for this one. A lot of you will have done this before with me, so so I'm not too worried. But key points to think about. Watch me first before you try. So what we're going to be doing is popping our hands on the floor and just gently lifting our knees off. Okay? Now what I don't want, if you have a look behind, what I don't want to see is your toes coming towards each other at the back. You want a perfect line directly underneath each other, yeah? And what I also don't want to see is people popping up onto this part of their toes. Can you see that? I'll show you again. Like this, or like this. Okay, so you're trying to relax the front of your foot. You're going to have your hands down here, and we're just really gently. It's not about lifting those knees super high. You're better off if they're down nice and low, and you're just going to lift nice and gently. Feel the stretch on the front of the ankle, and gently down. And we're going to do 7 more of those. So really nice and softly lift. 7, and relax it down. Good. 6 to do. 6, push back, lift those knees. And down. Can you feel the stretch? Yeah, good. 5 more. 5. And gently down. 4 more to do. Don't push too hard. Be nice and gentle with it. 4. Good. 3 to do. 3. And down. Good. 2 more. 2. And down. And final one. 1. And down. Perfect. Sit onto those bums, put the feet out in front, and some nice big, big circles with both feet, as big as you can get them. As big as you can get them. In, out, in, and out, in as well. And then change directions. In, out. Good. Perfect. Okay. Now, another couple of parts of the calf that I just mentioned, the outside of the calf, okay? This we really use when we turn our feet out and stand on our toes. So we really use here when we do that position, which is a lot of the time when we're dancing, isn't it? Turning those feet out and standing on our toes. So we're going to stretch the outside of the calf, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways for this, because Some people cannot find the stretch for this in some of the positions. So we're going to do 3 different things for this area, all right? I want you to try and find which one works best for you. So the first one we've done before, feet are facing forwards like so. Back foot comes across and back, and we're trying to get the bottom part of the foot off the floor, and you're going to reach down towards it. So try and reach it. If you can grab hold of it and try and pull the big toe backwards. If you can't reach it, just reach down towards it. If you can't feel it, maybe have a reach forwards, maybe reach back, reach around, and just see where you can feel it the most. I like to pull the toe backwards because I always get that feeling a little deeper when I do that. Have a little rock forwards and backwards maybe, rocking that weight. Forwards and backwards, couple more seconds there. And relax. And we'll do exactly the same in the opposite side. Step it over that back foot as far across as you can. Grab hold of it and pull the big toe backwards if you can. Have a little rock forwards and backwards, much tighter on this side for me. The same side that was tighter in that very first calf stretch. Interestingly enough. Good. Keep holding there. Couple more seconds. And relax, bring it up. We're going to do one more time on each side. Who can feel that stretch quite tight? Who's quite tight in there? Just give me a thumbs up or a wave or some sort of signal. Yeah, we are quite tight in there as a group mainly. Okay, good. We'll do one more on each side then. So toes are facing forwards, back and across, and reach down for it. Really have a little think now, a little rock forwards and backwards. What makes you feel it the most? It's important that we find the stretch the best way that it suits us. Oh, feels good. Couple more seconds. And relax. And let's switch again, last time, right across. Down we go. And let's stretch that as much as we can. Round, down, forwards and backwards. Pulling it back, whatever's best for you. Couple more seconds. Good. And relax. Okay, we're going to sit down on the floor now this time. So, this is exactly basically the same stretch, but we're just sitting down for it. I'm going to take my hand and put my palm on the bottom of my foot with my fingers wrapped around the outside. So opposite hand, opposite foot, fingers wrapped round. Now I'm going to try and pull this leg across my body, and the idea, like when we took it underneath, we want to pull and twist the ankle sort of towards us. So we're trying to bring the bottom of our foot round the corner. And then I'll show you a little closer. So if I'm grabbing it here, at the bottom here, I'm going to try to twist it this way towards me. Don't pull it too hard, but that should give you that stretch. And then when I'm here, I'm just going to do a tiny little point forwards and backwards. So I'm trying to point the toe, trying to point, and you should get that stretch here. If you can't get that stretch, bring it further across or higher up. Find where it gets you the best. Sometimes people like to lift and lower it. Feel what feels good for you. Really pulling that and trying to twist that gets the stretch all the way through here. All right, give it a little rest and let's try the other side. Hand across and around, opposite side, bringing it across the body, trying to twist that towards me. Just do what suits you the best. Try that little arch, try to point it. That often gets it, trying to point, good. Now sit up tall, does that make a difference? Pull it right across. Good, couple more seconds. 3, 2, and 1, relax. Who got it? Did you get the stretch when you were there? Give me a wave if you got it. It can be a hard one to find the stretch in that position. Okay, and then a final one that's quite similar to the one we just did, but a little bit more focused on just moving the foot. So you might not feel the stretch as much here, but we're just manipulating a little bit more movement at the ankle. So similar move to what we just did, you're sort of trying to just give that foot a little twist up towards you. So I'm just trying to give it a little twist at the ankle. Don't be too rough with it, you're just being nice and gentle. We're just teaching it that movement is okay. The same way we did with our big toe joint, a little twist that direction. Our ankle's a very, very clever joint. You can twist in many directions. Good, so you're just twisting that bottom up towards you. 4, 3 more, 2 to do, and 1 more. Perfect. Give it a nice little circle around. And we go again with the other side. So really just twisting that up towards us. Good. 7. Nice. 6. Has anyone ever seen a ballet dancer doing all of this stuff with their feet? They look after every part of their body. We need to get better at that as Irish dancers. We think, oh, we'll just be able to point our toes and oh, we'll just be able to stay up on our toes very easily. Whereas they have a really focused routine of looking after each individual part. So we need to get more like that. And the more like that we get, the better our dancing becomes. Good. 2 and 1 more. Perfect. Some nice big circles. And give them a really floppy shape, as floppy as you can. Good. Okay. We're back to our very first 2 moves. Our raised calf stretch, our downward dog, and then we are going to see how we got on when we take our second photo at the wall. All right? So grab whatever you used in the first place for that very first calf stretch. If you used your mat, I suggest rolling it higher. I'm going to use the end of my weight this time. So first time I use the middle, which is a little lower. I'm going to try and go a little higher. So if you want something that's a little bit lower, see if there's anything else you can do to lift it a bit higher. Maybe you could roll your mat a little and then pop your weight on top of it. Something along those lines. Or I could pop it on top of my book. Maybe that's a cleverer way to do it. Okay, so stepping on. Here we go. 3 positions. 3 times of each position, should I say, not the other way around. Step that outside foot forwards. I'm going to wait in this one for a couple of seconds, guys, so don't worry if you're rushing. Try and get it sorted. Good. Holding that, nice. Good, so it's really straight. Stepping forwards with that front leg. Back leg's nice and straight, heels touching the floor. Really good. Bring it back and we'll bend it down. Sit down into it, keep the heel. It's going to be hard to bend that knee now if you've gone higher. Try and sit really low into it. Keep your heel touching the floor. Good. Nice, and again, we step forwards. Oh, nearly fell backwards then. Good. That back leg is nice and straight. Good. It's important that we lift it up a little higher now because we should have a little bit more movement, and in that more movement is when we can get the muscle longer. We can teach it to be a little longer. All right. Bring it back and bend it down. Good. One more time. Forwards we go. Whoop. Always have a little wobble when I try and get into that one. Good. Yes, lots of you on higher raised items. That's good. And then bring it back and bend it down. Good stuff. Nice. Let's go for those nice big circles then, as big as you can get them. Looking after those ankles. Really good. And a nice floppy shake. We're almost there. Let's do that other side. See how that side feels. This is my tighter side now. Let's see if it's improved any bit. Ooh. Keep it nice and straight. Keep that heel down, touching the floor the whole time. Good. Hold it as straight as possible. Nice. Really good. Couple more seconds. Keep holding it here. Drive that heel into the floor. Come on. We want to see the biggest difference that we can in those pictures. We want the calves to feel so much better. Bring it back, bend it down. We use them so much. Good. And just like any other item we have, imagine using a school bag every day for 5 years, for 10 years, how old are you all? For 28 years in my case, and not changing it, not looking after it, not changing the straps, not doing all of those things. It's going to break at some point. We have to mind these things. Here we go, step it forwards. Woo, last one. Good. Tough to be a good bag to last 28 years, wouldn't it? Nice. Really drive that heel in. Come on, think about pressing that down the whole time. You switch the brain on, engage that as well. Come on, think about pushing the heel down. And then bring it back and bend it. And 8 nice big circles. Oof, feels good. And a floppy shake. Nearly there, we're back down. We're going to do 8 of our original downward dogs. So just the ones where we do both legs, sticking the bum up to the air. We try to get those heels down to the floor. Are we ready? We're on hands and toes, curl them under. Really think about driving those heels down now. Let's go. Push it up. Push back. Really try and keep those legs as straight as you can. Drive those heels towards the floor as much as possible. And down we go. Good. 7 to do. Push up. Push back and down. Drive them into the floor as much as possible. Bums in the air. Yes. Straight as you can with those legs. Good. 6 to do. This is the last chance to make the best difference. Let's go. Push it up. Push them down. Drive them into the floor. Really good. Come on, drive them down. Nice. Good, good, good. Forwards and down. 5 more. Push up. Push back. Drive them in as much as you can. Really good. Couple more seconds. And back down. 4 to do. Last 4. Make them count. Push it up. Push it back. Drive it in. Really push those heels into the floor. Come on. Push, push, push. And forwards and down. 3 more. 3. Push. Drive them into that floor. Yes. 2 to do. They should feel like different legs by now. Push them up. Drive them back. Heels are pushing down. Really good. And last one, here it comes. We'll do 1 kick up on each side for that last final push. So we'll push back to here. We'll lift one leg. Give it a nice big kick. Good, and the other. A nice big kick, be nice and gentle. And relax it down. Oh. Who feels like they might have lengthened their calves? Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Let's head back to the wall. Have a couple of goes without worrying about taking a photo to begin with. I just want to know if it feels good, if it feels better. Does it look better? But if it feels better, that's a priority. So have a little go. Let's see how mine is. Let's see. Definitely feels better. Saoirse, is it better? Yes. That's probably the best mine's been in a long time. I'm going to take my photos. Let's see. Here we go. On the other side, find that distance. Let's have a look. Yes, Ellie. Is that further back? Is it further? Yes, good. Well, number one, let's not look at photos first. Let's have a little think first. Who feels better? Whose ankle feels better right now? Yeah? We could just feel a bit more free, doesn't it? We could feel that it had more movement. Yeah? I can't actually remember the last time mine was that far away from the wall, so thank you, you lot. But it definitely feels better. The movement is more free and it's there. Let's see who's improved then, who actually moved further away from the wall as well. Yeah? A little bit at least. Yeah? Cool. When I talk about this, I think it's really important to let you know that a regular person that isn't an Irish dancer, their toe should be their foot length away from the wall. So mine should be able to be this far away from the wall and my knees still touch. Yeah? Who thinks that's like crazy far away compared to what theirs is right now? Yeah. And that's just because we do use our calves so much, but we also need our ankles to be loose. So like with everything in Irish dancing, it's really difficult because we have to find the balance of the two things. We need to be able to dance on our calves by having dance on our toes, jump off our toes by having strong calves. But if those strong calves mean that we're going to not be able to land as high on our toes, or we're going to get injured because our ankles are so tight, can you see how both of those things we need to find a level playing ground where both are doing their job properly? Yeah. So it's really, that's why Irish dancing is so hard, because there's all of these things that we need to find this weighing scales and this balance of. All right. So that's why it's so important to do all the different styles of training that we have done over the last couple of weeks. They all have their part to play in a different way. So what we all, I think, a little bit culprits of, and I was definitely this, is doing lots of cardio, doing lots of practice, doing lots of strength work, but not focusing anywhere near enough on flexibility and stretching out. Who would agree that they do a bit of the same? Anyone? Yeah, we all do a little bit of. Yeah, and it's because it's a little bit boring, it's a little bit more slow, it's less exciting, but it is the one thing that will push you to the next level. If anything else, I promise. So stick with it, be consistent, and keep focusing on these key things that I keep telling you over and over again. We're going to finish off by having just a nice generic stretch of lower back, hips, hamstrings, just one of each move, to just really finish off with a total body finisher. All right? Sound good? Come on then. And again, if you want to send those pictures to me after, please do, and we'll have a look and see how we got on. So let's go with our both knees for our back stretch. We'll lift both legs up, let them both drop to the side, And I just want both arms to reach across in the opposite direction and relax there for a couple of seconds. Hold it here. Keep holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exactly the same. Up and over to the other side. Reach those arms across. And just hold it here for 4. No, 8, should I say. Good, hold it nice and still. Try and reach that top arm over as far as you can. 3, 2, and 1. 2 more to do. Over to the other side. Reach that arm out and across. Good, hold it there. Nice. Couple more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And last time, other side. Drop it over and reach. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. From there, we're going to bring it up into our 90-90 position. So make sure that front leg's forward and across, back leg out to the side and across. We're going to reach to the side first and down as far as you can. So across that front leg and reach down as far as you can. Good. You might feel a stretch in your side. You might feel it in your hip, your quad. See where you feel it. Try and relax here. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Bring it up to the top. Switch. Oh, no. What am I doing? We're going to reach in front. Don't know where I was off to. We're going to reach in front of that front leg now. Over the top of it. So make sure you're not reaching across this way. You want to be directly in between the foot and the knee. Make sure you're in the middle of that. Good. And make sure you've got your weight spread evenly on those hands. One hand shouldn't be taking more pressure than the other. So make sure you put a little bit extra on that one that's closest to the foot. Feel that nice stretch in the glute. Good. And then bring it over towards the foot. And you're going to smell that sock. Yeah. Hold it there a couple of seconds. Should feel quite nice. Good work. Perfect. Bring it back up. And now we switch to the other side. Bit of break dancing. Swing it around. Good. Reach across and down to begin with. Really reach. Notice if you feel it in a different spot to the other side. Where do you feel it most? Hold it here. Good. Really good. Okay, now we bring it in front. Remember, directly in the middle of those two. Right in the middle. Reach it forwards. Good. Should feel quite nice. If you can't feel it too much, reach even further. Hold it as still as possible. Good, and then come across towards that foot. Reach down towards it. Perfect. Okay, last stretch. Now, this stretch is so important because at the moment we're spending a lot more time sitting down at home, all right? We are normally, if we go to dancing, if we go to school, if we go anywhere, we go to work, we're up and about a little bit more. At the moment, you're doing your schoolwork at home, so you're not getting up in between classes, lots of us. So I want you to really be conscious of how much you're standing up, all right? At the end of each hour class that you have, or hour Zoom, or whatever you're doing for school or work, try and stand up at least once, just once in that hour. Just make sure you're standing to extend the hip flexors. We get really tight in here anyway as dancers, and at the moment we're sitting down that little bit more. It's going to make them even tighter. So let's make sure we don't let that happen. And the other thing is, just do this stretch for me. once a day. Try and do it once a day. It's really simple, won't take long, but it just means that we're keeping some length in here when we're sitting down that little bit longer. All right? So this is your homework every day. You're going to have one leg right up at the top and the other leg back. And you're going to curl the toe underneath. And then from there, it's a tiny movement. I want you to just lift your knee and a centimetre, the smallest centimetre off the floor. Imagine it's a bridge for an ant. You only need to lift it enough to let the ant go underneath and drop it down. And again, 7 to do, just a tiny bit. Lift it to let the ant under and down. Good. 6 to do. And you should feel it in that hip flexor at the front of the leg that's back. Good. And down. 5 more. The smaller the movement, the better this is going to stretch. Really good. Good. 3 more to do. 3. And down. 2 to do. 2. And down. Good. And last one. 1. And down. Good. Give me a wave if that felt like a good stretch for the hip flexor. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Okay, opposite side. Jump it up. Back legs back. Curl the toe underneath. And here we go. Tiny lift. 8. And down. Really small. Who's tight at this side? Ooh, I am. 7. And down. Nice and gentle. 6 to do. 6. Go smaller, CC. 5, just let the ant under. It doesn't need to be big. And down. 4 more. 4. And down. Good. 3 to do. 3. And down. 2 more. 2. And down. Good. And last one. 1. And relax. Good, 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 good. So definitely make sure you're getting that one done as much as you can throughout the day. Just once is fine. If you can do it a couple more times, maybe you stand up and you do that stretch in between each class if you have time. All right? Really important to keep them moving.